Hello, doctors. Welcome to Doctors Get Real, where we have real life conversations and real solutions. We are here to help you, doctors, to be successful in your work, in your family, and in your life. Now, I'm having a wonderful co-host today who's going to be co-hosting this with me. And she calls on experience as a practicing surgeon, clinical faculty at the University of Washington School of Medicine, and a serial entrepreneur to help physicians and dentists like you achieve the personal, professional, and financial goals. She's also the author of several books, including The Myth of Rich Doctor, The 9 Money Mistakes Doctors Make, and Get More Patients Starting Today. Dr. Ragnar is also a nationally noted expert on doctors and their relationship with money, delivers keynote addresses, and coaches physicians who want to thrive. She's none other than Dr. Vicky Ragnar. Let's put our hands and heart together. Dr. Vicky Ragnar.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be there. I wish I were with you in Singapore right now.
Yes, we do have a little off the lockdown experience right now where we are a little bit free birds right now. We are doing everything that we want. So how have you been, Dr. Vicky? How is US with all this COVID and life after COVID right now?
Well, it's interesting. So I think it's a time where we're all counting our blessings because we're getting through this, right? This represents unprecedented challenges for physicians, for families, and people are just having to be creative about dealing with all sorts of things that are new for them. So I'm doing well, my family is doing well, and I get excited every day about helping physicians through this very challenging time.
Yes, and that is the heart of our today's conversation, getting real with doctors. So Dr. Vicky, I have many doctor clients who are beautiful mothers who have amazing young kids, and they also have a thriving career. So we're going to be talking about life-work balance today. So how do they get that balance in their life?
Great question, and one that I have really struggled with for many, many years. So in my own path, what I decided is that I was going to get my career set before I started my family. So I was in private practice when I thought, okay, things are settled down enough for me to start my family. So I was actually 40 when I gave birth to my son. And I had this plan that looked good on paper. I had converted one of my exam rooms to a nursery. My office manager was going to take care of my son while I was off operating. And I thought that I was just going to have it all. And I look back and I just think about how very naive that was. There were a couple of surprises when I got pregnant that nobody told me about. For example, nobody told me that when you get pregnant and when you have your children, a part of your attention pie will always be with them. So like when I operated pre-pregnancy, I was always 100% there, right? My focus was right there in the operating room. But after I had my son, there was always a part of me that was thinking about him, that was worrying about him. So if like he were crying when I went off to the OR, like I would be worried about him. And I might even ask the nurse to call over to my office and make sure my son was okay. I didn't really get that cognitively things would be a little different, that I wasn't always there sharp in the same way that I would have been. I think I was better. I was able to see new solutions, but it was definitely different. And what I quickly discovered is that I had regrets. Like when I went to the Mommy and Me class to be with the other mommies, like I had this regret that my time with my son was limited. When I was operating or doing my research or writing papers, it was sort of like, well, too bad I don't have more time to do that. And it was like, I was never satisfied. Like whatever was going on, I wanted something different. And it took its toll on me because it eroded my confidence. It eroded my joy because wherever I wasn't happy to be there. Do you hear any of this? Like, is anything is this ringing familiar with things that you hear from your doctor clients?
Yeah, I do. I think I have a wonderful doctor clients because they are super moms in my head whenever I talk to them. And they wake up early. They wake up even earlier than early to get sure that family is in order before they check out to their work. So yes, it is. It is the constant struggle of not feeling complete, of not feeling fully content in the role that you're playing. Yet you want to be on both the roles, in which, I think every mother goes through that. But with doctor clients, I see that a little bit more intently because the work does call on a little bit of them. It is not something that they can just, brush it off. So I feel that, yes, this is something that they really would love to know how we can get some work-life balance into our insane life and make it sane.
Right. Okay. Well, I can tell you what I did that really transformed me. I decided to be fully present in each moment. Like if I were with my son, I was going to be there for him and give him like 100% of my attention. Like my son used to be in the back seat of the car and he could tell when my attention drifted away from him. So I decided if I was with a patient, if I was with my son, if I was with my husband, I was going to just be there in that moment. So that's one thing. Another thing is that I decided I was going to just stick to my own knitting. I wasn't going to compare myself to the stay-at-home moms, to the moms who didn't have kids, or I'm sorry, to the other physicians who didn't have kids and they were just working full-time. Like I was just going to stick with me and I was just going to do the best thing for myself. But here is like the single tip that really transformed me. I decided that I was going to spend focused time every day with my son. So he was going to have my complete attention, and it didn't have to be long. It could be like for 5 or 10 minutes a day. But I was going to turn off the computer. I wasn't going to read anything. There was going to be no medical journal in the background. I was just going to be there with him. And I'll tell you, just those 5 or 10 focused minutes every day really filled up his love cup. And my son knew that he could count on our special time. And, I had always feared that, I would have to spend 3 hours with him to get to this point. But the reality is that just that focused 5 or 10 minutes a day really did make a huge difference. It really transformed my relationship with him. And then I would have other tricks. I would ask him like, how many times do you want to hear I love you today? And he would tell me 100 or 300 or 2. But like I would get feedback from him about what he needed in any given day so that I could do it, because we moms, we want to meet our kids' needs, right? And if we can check in with them, they will tell us what they want and need in any moment. So that really, really helps kind of loosen the grip of this monster of like not being enough either with my son or with my patients.
Wow, Dr. Vicky, thank you. That's a very transformational message. It seems so simple and easy to do, and yet probably we miss it in our busy content of our life. So basically, you actually make sure that you have some time with your kid, no matter whatever time you have, a focused attention on your kid. And the second thing is you actually schedule that couple of minutes intensely on a daily basis. So it could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes. Great, moms, we don't really have to have a half an hour or 3 hours with our children. We just have 5 to 10 minutes, a focus 5 to 10 minutes will do the trick. Oh my God, that's a savior. And that's a great trick, to be fully present and have a 5 to 10 minute sort of a schedule commitment with your child where he knows he can always come and tell you at that point of the day or that point of the time. Or I think that's a beautiful thing. Thanks, Dr. Vicky. That's a real saver. You can really save a lot of hassle just thinking what to do and how to be a better mom. Just be you, right?
Exactly. Just be you. Be who you are. Yes. And let your kids be who they are too.
Wow. That's great. So that's a great tip for our starting conversation of getting real, to have a great work-life balance, moms. Let's not struggle. So doctors, all we have to do is just be you, and whatever you're doing, just give that scheduled time with your kids. I think that's amazing. Is there any other transformational tricks that you have up your sleeve, Dr. Vicky, that you think our mothers over here that can take back with them?
Yes. Know that you are enough. So I had a parenting educator who said, you don't have to be a perfect mother. If you can get it right 51% of the time, love's going to take you to 100%. So don't worry about perfection.
Wow, that was deep. That was deep, and that was so true. It is not perfection, but it's progression, right? That we are aiming for. Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you, Dr. Vicky. It feels that it's so doable now when you can just do that small thing and you can do that small thing right. So yeah, lovely. So we will meet again next time for our Getting Real Life conversations. So doctors, get real, tune in again. And we will have more real life solutions for you. But you could always put down your comments and let us know if there is something you're dying to know. And we will try to cover that in our next conversation.